Welcome to this episode of CynSpeaks. I am so excited about this episode. We're going to talk about butterflies, and not just the actual animal, but the processes that they go through. And I know you guys have heard a lot of these scenarios before, but I really want to dig deep. I've always felt connected to butterflies, and through my grandma, she and I used to have all kinds of conversations about butterflies, and they're beautiful, and the processes that they go through are really close to alignment with the things that we go through as humans. And I want to talk about that a little bit. So the process of metamorphosis. So pretty much, as you guys all know, butterflies go through stages, right? Where they cocoon, right? They're caterpillars, kind of ugly, frumpy. They cocoon, and then they glow up into these beautiful butterflies that can fly. So that's in a nutshell, right? But as humans, we go through similar processes, and we are put into scenarios that require us to cocoon so that we can grow. And the process isn't always pretty. So let's break it down a little bit. So when you're a caterpillar, think about it. You are the baby in life. You're learning. You barely know how to walk. You are getting through things however you can. You're slow getting through these things, probably. You're kind of like everybody else, right? There's not much unique traits that you have. There aren't many unique traits that you have. There aren't, like, you're like everybody else. You're common. You're normal. And then there's this stage of stumbling upon this opportunity to cocoon. And for butterflies, it's their mission, right? It's their mission to go from a caterpillar to a butterfly. That's part of their mission in life. Just as it is our mission to go from being normal to being our unique self, which takes some work and some processing to finally move into a space where we are that unique self. But moving into that space it takes us some time and some work, right? So as butterflies do, we get to a space where we are finally ready to cocoon. And that stage may come at different ages depending on who you are. For me, it was a long process, really. But really the real process of cocooning started at like 28, 29. And although I always knew I was different, I always knew I didn't really fit in with everybody else, I also didn't really know myself, and I didn't take the time to know myself. And it wasn't until life kind of required me to separate myself from a lot of situations and a lot of people that I got into a space where I was really going within, and I was really clear on who I was, because I had to do a lot of work. And it got ugly. Just like inside of a cocoon, think about it. It's kind of quiet, dark, gooey, ugly. It's not the prettiest thing. And that's kind of a phase that I went through. And as I was growing and learning about myself, I decided to get excited about all of the things that I was growing into, without even the vision that I was going to fly. Like, I didn't realize it was going to be that transformational, but it was. And I now know me. And as you see butterflies, a lot of butterflies look very different. There's so many types of butterflies, and although they may be similar, they're all different, and their wings are so beautiful, and they can fly and do these amazing things. And they're pretty much, after that cocooning phase, they're free, and they get to be the highest version and the best version of themselves. But they had to go through that cocooning stage. They had to go through that stage where things were dark and things were icky and things weren't pretty and things weren't happy and things weren't great, in order to get into a space where they were the highest and best version of themselves. Sometimes you're going through life with somebody else, but that cocooning phase you go through by yourself. So it's difficult, especially if you like marry young and you haven't yet gone through this phase and you really haven't had the freedom to know who you are. You may not have ever had the opportunity to spend time with yourself, because if you get married young and you have kids young, your time and your energy goes on everybody else. But I encourage you, especially if you don't feel that you really know who you are and what you want out of life and what makes you happy and what makes you, what triggers you, I encourage you to try to find time to go within and try to find time to cocoon, because you'll learn so much about yourself. It may be icky in the beginning, but you'll go through this process, and the beauty really is in the process. And that's how you learn to appreciate everything from a different perspective. And that's how you learn to be conscious in yourself and in all of your thoughts and decisions. Like, you learn everything in the cocooning process, but you must go through that. And you must finally get to the mission in life where you can do that. And that's important enough for you to do it. When you are in the cocoon phase, it's solo, but the benefit is for everyone around you. Your loved ones will benefit from the fact that you are comfortable with you and that you are happy on your own. That is a topic by itself, but creating happiness on your own is huge. Your loved ones will thank you. Your loved ones will appreciate the fact that you have spent the time to really go within, yourself, and your happiness is not dependent on any external factors. That's huge. That's so huge. Also, you may have to separate yourself from some people, like permanently. Some separations may be temporary, but some separations may be permanent, right? How often do butterflies go visit their caterpillar cousins? Like, probably not that often. And that's just because they may not have as much in common. So as you grow and as you learn about yourself, you're going to realize that you may not have as much in common as everybody else. But as you grow, you're going to be put in scenarios where you can still help them by showing that it's possible, right? Once you have your wings and you are able to see life from this new perspective, and you start to just really notice and be grateful for everything. The colors in the sky, the way that the clouds flow, the leaves and all of the little intricate details in one leaf, like how everything comes together. Once you start to really move from a space of gratitude and start to notice everything, your life and your reality will respond. People will want to come with you. People will want a part of it. And really, all it is just learning about yourself. So I encourage you to spend time. And if you are in that cocooning phase, like, push through, because the other side is beautiful and amazing. And the cocooning phase is ugly, but it doesn't last forever. There's something beautiful on the other side. So push through. Push through. Spend time with self. If it's your favorite podcast, hopefully it's this podcast. But if you have another podcast that you liked, or that you like, you make sure you listen to that on your way to work. If you're in your car by yourself, spend some time on yourself. Sometimes I ride in the car quiet with no music and no podcast or no YouTube videos, and I just ride. And I just go with the flow, and I just notice things. Like, there are so many ways to spend time with yourself, and I think it's so important. It's so important, especially if you're a mother or a wife. You're dedicated to other people, and not to say that they're not dedicated to you, but if you're a wife or even a husband, you probably pour a lot into your family. And it's important that you stay full, because kids, although they are blessings, they are huge blessings, they will pour into you when they can, but it's not their job to do so. You have to make sure you're whole on your own so that you can teach your children how to be whole on their own. And then we start to change the world that way. We start to produce adults that are these whole and complete individuals, and then relationships start to get healthier, and then the world starts to get better. Like, it's all connected. But I encourage you to spend that time. If you're in that cocoon phase, Push through. If you're in the caterpillar phase, a mouthful, push through, because you'll get there. That cocoon phase will come to you exactly in the perfect timing. You'll know when you're supposed to go there. Just do it. Go through it. The process is beautiful. The outcome is even more beautiful. And the way that you'll see the world, your perspective will change so much. And you will start to see the world through a space of love and beauty. You'll start to see it from a place of observation. And when you start to see the world that way, your experience will change forever. This episode was brought to you in love and light. As always, add me on Instagram at Cynamon Voe in the show notes if you need the spelling. And make sure you tag and share with your people so that we can all grow together. Until next time.